Welcome to Mindcast, your 10-minute mental wellness break, brought to you by BeWell. We're your BeWell counselors, here to talk about stress, anxiety, depression, and everyday mental health. Let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Genae Brady, and welcome to Mindcast. This is the podcast about mental health with the BeWell program at Sanitas. And here I have with me today, Cara Liebert. I have here with me today. She is also a counselor with the BeWell program with Sanitas. How you doing, Cara?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me, Genae.
No problem. Today we are going to be discussing self-care, its importance, and why it's important. Cara, can you give us some clues on what some of the things that you say to your patients about self-care?
Yeah, I think the first thing that I like to address is kind of the stigma around self-care, just like there's so much stigma around mental health and getting support for mental health. A lot of times my patients, when I talk about self-care, they're like, oh, but that's really selfish for me to take time for myself. Or I feel guilty when I take time and I'm not doing things because I'm supposed to be productive, right? Like there's these outside pressures from society that we are just supposed to constantly be producing and bettering ourselves and reaching our goals and setting new goals. And the thing is we can't do any of that if we don't take time to take care of ourselves and if we don't take time for rest. So, I usually start off just talking about how important it is to take care of yourself so that you can do the things that you want to do in your life.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I like to use this type of example with my patients. I tell them to imagine they have a bunch of empty glasses in front of them, and those are people and friends, family, colleagues at work, things like that. Those are all people that need your help, that need something from you, or things that need something from you. And imagine you're a pitcher of water and you pour yourself into all of these people, all into these empty glasses that are now full. What is filling you back up? You have to fill yourself back up. So you have to take care of yourself and don't feel guilty about it. Everybody needs a break once in a while. And, when you fill everybody else up, you got to fill yourself back up or you're going to break.
I love that. I use that too in a different way. I think what I feel like I end up saying in almost with every client at some point, talking about how you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? We have to fill our own cups to be able to fill the other cups, right?
Exactly, exactly. Like I even tell younger people that, there is a thing called burnout. It can happen when you are doing so much and you are taking on so much and it seems overwhelming. Now you're going to start getting sick and other things start to come into play. When you don't take care of yourself, your body, or your mental health, you start to get sick. You start to get physically ill. You might have muscle aches. You start to, start having overwhelming feelings. Oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to do this. Everything catastrophizes and gets bigger. And then sometimes, some people even have psychological break. I can't take it anymore. They break. There is a thing as burnout, and it's okay to step back and say, I can't do this right now, and say no. It is okay. Don't feel bad.
Yes.
Hmm.
Setting that boundary, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. That makes me think too about, self-care can be something that is done like in the moment, like realizing I need a break. What do I need to do to take care of myself, right? Like that's the first question that I think is important when identifying what kind of self-care you need, right? Like, do I need to be comforted right now? Maybe I'll ask somebody for a hug. Maybe I'll hug a pillow. Maybe I'll lay down under a soft blanket. Do I need to rest, right? I'll lay down again, comfort, rest. Do I need to move my body? Am I going to go for a walk? Am I going to go swimming, whatever it is? Or do I need to vent? Do I need to connect with a friend? So knowing what you need helps inform what you decide to do for your self-care.
It also rejuvenates you. I tell patients all the time, take that trip, take that time off. Go, whatever it is that's there, it will be there when you get back. Take that time off. You only live once. Go do that. Go do those things, those fun things that you enjoy, because it rejuvenates you, it energizes you, it resets your battery. And I have to tell people all the time, you are not a robot. You are a human. You have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to take care of yourself. You got to do things for yourself. Yes, everybody needs these things. The kids needs these things. Your husband or your wife need these things. Your job needs these things. Your parents needs these things. The school needs these things. You need things as well. You are just as important, and sometimes you just have to say, I can't do it. And you have to say no, and don't worry about how anybody else feels. That's them. You have to worry about how you are feeling with yourself, and how you are going to rejuvenate yourself, how you are going to be able to continue to do the things that you do. Because if you break, that's you break.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think too, self-care is something that can happen because you're recognizing, oh, I need this right now. But also, I think it's important to schedule time in your day to take some time to fill your cup. So for example, for myself, I make sure that I wake up an extra hour early every day, and I take time to do two things to take care of myself. I take time to move my body, whether it's go for a walk outside in the sun, in the really hot sun, or go swimming, or do some sort of free online yoga class or something like that. They've got all kinds of things on YouTube. So some way to like move my body before I come to work and I'm sitting in the office and not moving as much. And then the other thing I do to take care of my soul is I check in with my journal. I like journaling as self-care too. So I like to take time to journal to kind of process what's going on for myself, but then also, anything that might be happening in my life. But also, there's two other types of journaling I do every single day: gratitude and affirmation. So, the gratitude, yeah, so the gratitude, I'll start off just looking out the window saying, I'm grateful for the sky. I'm grateful for the ocean that's out past my window. I'm grateful for my partner. I'm grateful for this home that I'm living in. You know what I mean? Taking time to really set my mind right in a place of being grateful for the things around me and the things that I'm lucky to have in my life. And then I also like to affirm myself, whatever it is I feel like I'm needing to hear, right? A lot of times people are looking for something. What do I need to hear? And I know for myself this morning, I think it was like, I am allowed to take my time, right? There's so many things we're trying to get done in the day. And today I affirmed for myself that I am allowed to take my time.
Absolutely. I especially like what you say, what you do in the morning, you have your peaceful hour in the morning, writing in your journal. Listen, I sometimes go out and hug the tree that's outside in front of my house. Like, people may think I'm weird, but I like nature. I go hug the tree, or I talk to my cactus, Giorgio, I named him. I talk to him, I'd be like, Giorgio, this is gonna be a great day. I'm gonna put you in the sun,
Yes.
direct sunlight, give you a little bit of water because you don't need that much. You need a
That's your emotional support cactus.
emotional support cactus. All of these things help rejuvenate me and stuff. And it's okay to take some time back and say, hey, I need it for myself. And it don't feel guilty, because everybody has time for themselves. Everybody has days for themselves. Everybody does things for themselves that they need to rejuvenate for themselves. You deserve it as well. And don't feel like, oh no, my gosh, what about this? Worry about that later. Now, if you don't get self care and you don't take care of yourself, it could turn into other things like we see all the time in our program: anxiety, overthinking, overwhelmed, panic attacks. You know,
Yeah.
it could turn into other things. There's other different types of anxiety. I've seen people who was like, if it's not perfect, oh my gosh, I'm going to freak out. Are you obsessing over this? What is that? Things like that. Take your time, do what you got to do, and find time for yourself. Do things you enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think cultivating joy is one of the things that I prescribe. I'm not a doctor. We're not doctors in the BeWell program. We're mental health counselors, we're social workers. But I still prescribe joy pretty much every day. I'm like, we need to get out there and figure out, there's all these things we're supposed to be doing, but like, what do you want to do? What do you want to spend your time doing?
Exactly. Take a double dose of joy for me. Cara, this was wonderful. I'm glad that you were here, and we have to do this again. Also, for anybody out there, if you are feeling that you are overwhelmed, you don't have time, and you need time for yourself, and you like to talk to somebody, we have excellent counselors with the BeWell program, like myself and Cara here. And we have excellent care for everybody. If you have medical or mental health needs, please call Sanitas. Thank you, Cara. Have a good day.
Thank you for having me. It's been so great.
Bye.